Hi everybody, this is Tina with Rehatch Designs. Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome everybody. I am still in the middle of reorganizing my craft room, and it is it's really I don't know, it's kind of at that point, you know, where it looks worse before it gets better, but I am seeing light at the end of the tunnel. And I have purged so much stuff, but I wanted to pop in because this is something I'm doing right now. I guess last year I organized my craft room, and this year I'm kind of micro organizing, which means I'm getting into the weeds where I am looking in drawers, you know, putting things in order in each drawer, which I didn't do before. I put like things in each drawer, but I didn't necessarily organize, you know, to the point where when I looked in that drawer, it looked organized. I did on some things. Anything new that I put away when I got my furniture and everything, I probably did that. But a lot of the other stuff, you know, I mean, when you do this stuff, and I did a complete redo last year, and I'll link that in the description so you can see that walkthrough. And I'm not actually changing the setup, but I am moving a few things around, and I'm going in and I'm kind of reorganizing. And I kind of almost think you have to do that from now, you know, every once in a while, because what you're doing may change, how you're doing it may change, what you're using may change. So you kind of have to reevaluate, I think, and that's kind of what I'm doing. But getting to that, right now I'm looking at Ephemera, which is, oh my gosh, guys, there is so many ways that you can, you know, store it and use it. And I think a lot of it, you know, I'll give you what I'm doing now, but also what I did before, because there was a point when everything I had for junk journaling just about fit in a couple of shoe boxes. Now it fits almost in a complete room, and even then I've got overflow in another room. So I mean, you know, you can go to extremes, okay? But I'm going to tell you a few of the things that I'm doing, and if you don't have the amount of things that I have, I totally get that this doesn't make sense to you, but if you do this, maybe it'll help, okay? So, and also too, I think there's some things here that as you grow and as you collect things, you might get to a point where you need to revamp things, and I don't know, maybe you won't make the same mistakes that I did, because I do think there's some things that I invested in that I don't really use because I don't particularly care for them and they don't work for me. But a lot of this too is going to be based on how you craft and how you use these items. So that's going to have to be an individual decision. Okay, so first of all, I am not talking about finished items like tags or pages or anything like that. I am talking about things you use to create with. Okay, so if you make tags, or you make journaling cards, or you make whatever, the things that you use, or decorate a page, these are the things that you're using, not all of them, but you know, to decorate with. Okay, what I have here, these are little containers that I got from the dollar store, and I should have bought a lot more of them, and I will be buying more, but I use these, and I'm starting from small to large of the things that I have, and for the most part these are small things. Like, these are little numbers. I have them divided up by black and then beige, and then I have, this is like little tiny ephemera. And it was really kind of funny when I first started junk journaling. I couldn't figure out what in the world you would do with this tiny stuff. And boy, I tell you what, I get it now and I use it a lot. But this is that kind of stuff, okay? You know, little labels, little numbers, little things like that that are not in these two categories right here. So that's how I keep that. These little containers, you know, I guess they're $1.25 each. I really think they're great because they have a cover, and that means that you can stack them, okay? So if you have a shelf or something, I have them on a shelf sitting like that, and honestly, I wished I'd have bought enough for, you know, quite a few. But anyway, this works for me. I've got and they're easy to open. I'm just being difficult here because, you know, I've got different words here. These are in black. I did it by color. These are just you know, beige or whatever lighter color there is. Here's little quotes that I have. And these are all the smaller ones. These are not everything that I have by far, but these are the smaller ones, so that when I am doing something that I can just quickly, these are just right behind me, grab these and look in here and see. I don't have to get out everything I have, and I can probably, these are labels and these are blank labels, okay? And I have them divided by color. I have a couple colors mixed in here, but I do have them kind of by color. So they're small, so they're in there. I showed you that. This is, remember I just did my Sampool stamps there. I used my stamps to make all these little labels, and I have, oh gosh, I made so much stuff in such a short period of time, and I am definitely on the make ahead bandwagon now. These are just round things. I find that I need round, I don't know, I like using round things a lot. So I kind of just put them all in here, and they're small, so I put those in there. I don't know why that's stuck to the side. That's weird. Okay, whatever. And then these are things like faux stamps, little tiny labels, and, you know, tickets and things like that, just little small things, okay? And so this is just like my little small things place that I keep things. So that sits on that just sits on the shelf, kind of stacked up, and they do stack really well and stay well. I don't know if you can buy these like on Amazon. I kind of looked and I couldn't find anything exactly the same, and I don't know, let me see size wise, and I don't know if they have them. I was actually going to go to the dollar store today, but I didn't have a chance. Let me see. These are what, almost 8 inches. Let's just call it a smidge, you know, under 8 by 3. And it has 3 compartments and a lid. So, you know, I mean, you could definitely, I just know that they happen to fit in a lot of things pretty well. So, anyway, that's what I use for my smaller ones. And I'm going to move that aside so that you can see what I do for my other ones. Okay. I have an assortment of ways that I store things, and this is a little thing that I have sitting right behind me, right next to those little smaller containers. And this is not everything I have by far, but this is like my little go-to basket that I have that has a mixture of things, and I add to it all the time as I use things. And a lot of times too, I have this little thing sitting on my desk, and this is all like leftover things, you know, that I need to put away or whatever. A lot of times after that, I end up putting things back in But this is how it works for me, okay? I have these little containers. Y'all have seen them. They're actually, I think, meant originally for photos. But I use these, and I have them labeled with my label maker. I'll show you that in a minute. And I have a mixture of the colored ones and the clear ones because I originally got the colored ones, and I'm still using those. I mean, you can see through them, but not as well. I like the clear ones better, but I'm not going to not use these. And there's different kinds, but inevitably they fit in this little basket. And this basket is, and I did buy the basket off of Amazon. If I can find that, I'll link it. It is probably, well, I guess end to end is probably what you want to do. Probably about 7.5 by 9.5. I don't know if that's the exact dimensions, but these fit in there perfectly, and I just keep this on a little shelf. And the way I do it, these plastic things here, I just started using those, and this is great because I used to have 2 baskets full of things on that shelf with just these little containers in them because it took 2 baskets to put everything in there. And the way that I divide them, and these are these little containers, and I'm absolutely in love with these. I think I showed you guys these before, but they're just amazing because they have the little snap on them. I bought them in 3 different sizes, and then I bought them just this size, I think 40 for a pack of them. Which I've already gone through. So, but I love these. But anyway, I will put all those links in there too. But what I do is if there's a lot of something, like this is, I call it medium miscellaneous. I know what that means is these are all like just ephemera. They're not super small, but they're not really big. And these are things that I would possibly use when I'm making a journaling card or decorating a page or something like that, but it's almost filling up this thing, okay? I don't use that for that, okay? Because it actually would fit in there fine if you don't want to fit in there, and I will show you that just in case. And of course, you could always use more than one, right? But if you wanted to, you could definitely put all of those in here. It would be a little bit chubby, but they would fit, okay? So that's how they would fit if you wanted to just go with one option. But because I have these, I put anything that I have a lot of, I put it in these little plastic containers, okay? So that's kind of how I do that. And the things that I have here are things that I reach for all the time in my big case. And I'll show you that in a minute. And you will see that almost all of these are stuffed full. Okay, these are stuffed full. These are large, that one's hard to open for some reason. These are just large things that I would use possibly. And I know what that means. Large miscellaneous, medium miscellaneous. There's not really a category. They're mixed in with all different kinds of stuff. But that's okay because I kind of know what's in there. This one is a category and it says flowers. And this one has just everything. These are all flower oriented, most of them. Well, that one's not. So you're in the wrong spot, guy. Gotta get out of there. But for the most part, it's all flower things, okay? So that's pretty much what I have in here, okay? This is stamps, and I have all my stamps in here, okay? And I reach for stamps all the time. I do have them kind of separated in these little glassine bags because I do have some that are, they're just worth more than the others. And then after that, I just have them kind of mixed up in here. And I usually grab for them by color. So, and I have all my stamps in here. And when I need a stamp, I just go to my little stamp thing. They're all in one little spot for me. And it's close by. I don't have to walk across the room or anything. Oh, here, put that in there backwards. And then I have, these are labels, but these are like the stick-on kind, you know, and I have them all in their little, on their little sheets. So I don't really put them, and these are printed, but they're still labels. So anyway, those are, I know what kind of labels they are, but I have them in there like that. Then what I do in my little basket, and like I said, I originally had 2 of these baskets full of these, but when I got these, I realized something very quickly, that you could put a whole lot more of these containers in there than, in fact, I mean, if you wanted to just use this. Now, they don't fit very well that way. They can fit that way. Let me show you. But they bend a little bit, so you're really better off just putting them in there like that, upright, and then you can just flip through them. These, as I said, they came in 3 different sizes, and the ones that I bought, and I also bought them separately. Let me show you that. They came in this size and also this other size, which work great for stamps. Okay, and then the smaller size. And the smaller size, these fit the smaller stamp thing. This fits the bigger ones. Does not fit Tim Holtz, but I did find some that do fit Tim Holtz. And then this larger, I use these all the time. Gosh, this is probably my favorite divider that I have, because it holds so much, you know, and it's just, you can see what's in it. All right, so anyway, so I bought it with the 3 size, and I also bought it on these individual ones, but I just bought another pack of 40 just because I love using these. Let me show you what I did here. So I don't have a lot of stuff in here. I just have a little. This is just meant for me to grab really quick. I have stuff with birds in it. I have stuff with flowers. I have these little, I guess they'd go on the front of a journal or something. These are big numbers. I've got, this is just people, you know, calling card or something. And I don't, this is by far not all of mine, but this is just some of them. If I need to grab one quickly, I can maybe use that. These are just different tickets. Definitely not all the tickets I have, but if I want a ticket real quickly, I can grab one. This is not my whole thing. These are just some butterflies that I have in there. I just did my Sampool stamps, and these are the ones that are torn that I did on that, remember that homemade paper and some of the coffee dyed paper and things like that. So I just put those separately in here. And I think I showed you my other one thing that had the Sampool stamps in it. I think I did. They were in here. I had my round things, my faux stamps and tickets, and then this was all Sampool. I'm so into mass making now, guys, and I never did it before because I got so much out of that. I'm like, oh wow, I'm set for quite a long time. But anyway, so I have those close by. They don't need a big box because there's not enough to fill up a whole box, okay? But I do have quite a bit, and I want them close by. I don't have all of my butterflies, but I have quite a few, so if I need to grab one quickly, I can. I don't have all my tickets. Obviously, I don't have all of my little people, but I do have a few, so if I need to grab one. The same with my flowers. I just have a few. My birds, I just have a few. These are big numbers. I don't have that many, but there they are. These are things that I use, and I wouldn't really call them labels, but they're just things that are kind of blank, if not blank, little postcards, little things that you can put on maybe a journal that you can write on, or you can decorate separately. I kind of put those in there because I use these a lot. And they're from different digitals that I've gotten, different people. I mix them all together. This is just little pieces of that board that I was using for my lace and my material. But I like to have, it's a little bit, about maybe, it's not chipboard, but it's a little bit like that. It's thicker, but this is something that I like to use for my altered paper clips and stuff. So I just decided to keep them handy because I do make those things a lot. And I have a few butterflies that I've had die cuts, and these are just white. And the reason I keep them in here but not with the other die cuts is that you're always needing a butterfly. These are white, and I did it purposely like that in case I want to stamp them or emboss them or do something to give them the color, specific color that I want. But anyway, I keep those in this little basket next to all of my little small things, and when I need to make something, it's just right there. It has majority of the things that I might need. That doesn't mean it's all of them. It just means that is, if I want to do something quickly, I can go in here. Okay, so I do have that in my little spot, and I just reached up there and put it up there, so it was easy to do. But I also have these containers, and I have several of them, and you can see I don't have these labeled. I just have flowers, and I'm gonna go in and label them. I wasn't thinking that I was. I have one missing. Who knows where it is? But they are just filled with all different kinds of flowers that I have put in here, that I have fussy cut, but they're absolutely filled with this stuff. And so, it works for me. It doesn't always, may not be what everybody wants, for themselves, but since these are pretty full, this is probably how I'm going to keep them. But I do think I'm going to organize them a little bit better and put labels over here like I did on the other ones. Because, yeah, you can see through them, but I can't really tell by looking through the top. I can't really tell. This is all, like, these probably should go in there with those. It doesn't need a separate little deal, don't you think? Yep, see? So I do need to organize them, and it's just all fussy cut flowers pretty much. Like, here's a lot of blue and pink, and that's all what I have in here. And I have 3 other of these cases, and each of them have different things in them. Like, some of them have things I've cut out, like labels or tags and things like that, small in a container. But everything is like pre-made. It's for things that I'm going to make. Okay, things that I'm going to use to make something. It's not already like made tags and things like that. It's all that kind of stuff. But when I first started, seriously, everything I had could fit in I had 2 shoe boxes, and that's all I had. I had enough stuff to fit in those 2 shoe boxes, and that was everything. Okay. One shoebox probably had all the ephemera that I had cut out or collected, and the other one had probably all the papers that I used. That was it. So, you know, I have expanded and collected a lot of things, which is kind of a problem in itself. But anyway, I did want to really recommend these, and I will put that in there in the description box. I did want to say, let me find the other one that I had that I wanted to show you guys. If I can find it. Maybe I can't. Maybe I don't know. Well, there's another kind that I used before. Oh, here it is, right here. So I bought some like this, and these work just as well. I don't know that they're as secure, but they're pretty secure. And these go that way. They are the same width, so I don't think that these would fit any better that way. You know, if you wanted to put stuff in. These do work good for stamps and things, but there is a size that's bigger than this. It came in 2 sizes, and it was specifically made for like stamps and everything. And I do want to tell you, and I think I have said this, that there is a size, if I can pull it out. Yeah. This size that they have, it came in these 2 sizes. Okay, so this size and then this size. And these actually do fit, and they're the only ones I've found so far that fit the Tim Holtz, the stamps, because the Stampers Anonymous, simply because the other one that I have that came with this first kit, or first pack, here they are. You will see, I was excited. I thought, oh yeah, they're going to fit. Well, they don't. They're just a little bit too narrow, and they don't fit in there. Now, you could cut these to fit in there. You could definitely, you have enough to where you could cut that off if you wanted to do that. Definitely, they would fit. Okay? Let me show you how. It's like a sliver, honestly. I mean, you could shove them in there. Let's see. It would be tight. Okay. Yeah, it's really tight. But it could fit if you really wanted it to fit. But I'm just saying, you could cut a sliver off of that. Okay? And they would fit in there if you don't want it by, you know, different things. So I just wanted to say these could work, and all you would really have to do is cut the tiniest, because obviously this part has the holes in it to put it in a binder, which I don't recommend. Yeah, no way you'd be able to use this. But I mean, you could cut off, gosh, not even an eighth, and it would pop right in and out. But it has the little things to put in a binder, but I would definitely not do that, because especially when you have little pieces like this, they can pop out real easy. So, and that, you know, after a while they don't stick and they fall, and this way at least they're in something. But anyway, those would work, but they definitely work in this size. So I just pop them in here. Look how easily they fit in there. Super easy. If you don't want to alter your thing, all right, and you have room. I don't know why they're just a little bit bigger. I mean, you know, there's not a lot of room in there, but it definitely fits. Okay, and then this thing, you know, stays, and it's up to you how you want to do it. But these came in these 2 packs like that, and you could definitely put ephemera in here too. I don't see any reason why that wouldn't work, in case you don't want to buy, you know, I use these mainly for my stamps, because I knew the Tim Holtz ones would fit in there. The other kind of things that I put in there, I'll have stuff like tea bags or whatever, and I'm like, well, what am I going to do with this? Well, these are great things to hold it in. Just it's the little things, right? All those little things that get scattered, then you can't find them. This is this little tiny book that I got, and these are some stickers that I really like. It's all roses, and I just have them all in one little thing, and they fit in there. So now they're all in one place. I don't have to look all over, right? The other thing is, if you just have little, like these are little caps that go for tassels that I just got. Well, I don't have a container. I usually put a lot of my stuff in these little containers, my metal things, and I didn't have another one, which means I need to go get another one probably. But in the meantime, rather than having them rolling all over the place, because they come in their little cellophane thing, and you open them up and who knows, you could put stuff in there. Okay, so they do have other uses other than just the ephemera that you have. So I really like the snap. I feel really secure with that. See, I don't, so these are pretty good. So that's something to think of, is that they're reusable, and they would have lots of uses, and they were not that expensive. So I would go that route if you're just starting out. I don't know that I would go the plastic container route, because honestly, do you really need all that? The other thing, let me move all this stuff so I can show you. I used it for this is all the stencils here. I have some of the larger ones that wouldn't fit in the small containers. I have them in here, and I have these just in the ones without the snap, but I put them in here because these were too big for these containers. But I did put my stencils all in here, not all of them, but this is the stuff I kind of have that I'm using for my Boho Gypsy Journal, and this is all the stuff I cut out, and I don't want it to just kind of get lost, so I have it all divided in here. And what happens too, a lot of times on your stencils, the really fine ones, is that they will get tangled if they're in a big bunch of stuff. So it's kind of good to not have them all mixed in. These are the flowers and butterflies and things. So so I do like them for stuff like that. Okay, and this container that I have is from Art Bins, and what I was going to show you is that, okay, they don't work this way because they're too tall. All right, okay, they don't work that way, upright like this. Okay, but they do work. Let me go this way so you can see it. But they do work. They do work this way very easily, and because they're completely clear. I mean, you can label them, but I didn't see the need. You could definitely put your ephemera in those, and that would be, just great, because you can just thumb right through here and find what you want, and they fit perfectly this way. So you could put them in a box if you want to. What's great about these things is they have the dividers, so it keeps things standing up and they don't fall down. So then you can just kind of eat, like even if I only have 2 of them in there, they're not going to fall all the way down. I don't have to worry about, digging through the. So I think this would be a good way to store things. I probably, if I was doing it over, I would prefer this rather than the boxes. I would probably eventually still get both. But, I bought a lot of those little box things, and honestly, there's a lot of times where I don't have a lot of stuff. And if I really want to micro-organize my ephemera and put, like things together, like only these stencils in here, not mixed with 10 others or something, then this actually works out better, I think. Okay, so anyway, that is something to consider if you want to use those particular things. The other thing I wanted to point out, that I went to the dollar store and they had these really cool, and I've seen them there before. I'm gonna put that up. These containers, which are I don't know what the size. Is there one with a label on it? Yay, here we go. It doesn't say anything, but you can see the label. Okay, so I bought these not knowing what they would fit in, but you look at this. They fit in the same basket, and you could certainly use this for ephemera too, to put in, and they fit in here just like the other ones do, and they hold more. They hold a lot more. Be good for thicker things, like, see, we made these the other day, these wood pieces. If you have a lot of stuff like that, you may want to use something like that. And then these things are great because they open up. They're very secure. Thing that you don't want to fall out. They're just great little containers. I think they're like sandwich type things, but I just love that. As you saw before, I have you. But anyway, these do fit in there. So if you don't have a lot of stuff, you could go to the dollar store and buy a few of those, and just, they have baskets there this size too, guys. I know they do. I got these off of Amazon, but they do have baskets at the dollar store this size, and you can store all your ephemera in that. Okay. The other thing is on the die cuts. I did want to show you this. Mine is kind of falling apart because these are really, really old pages. I bought them at a thrift store, but this is just a way to store, and I like this for the really fine stuff like this. See this? I don't know if you can see the white. Let me get it. Or here's some really long pieces that obviously won't fit in there. There's some other things that I've done, but the big thing I love these for, let me see if I can find them, is a lot of the fine pieces like this trim here. Let's see if you can see that. You know, these snowflakes. We have these branches. I mean, this stuff works okay, but honestly, when you have these fine things like this, or like all of this, they will get tangled in there. And that's why this is great. Plus, you can flip through it and look through it. What happened on mine is these were so old that they started coming apart. So what I need to do is I just really need to reattach them. And at some point, you know, I will. But right now, they still work. But I have like all the really fine things you can put in there, or if they're really big. So when you go and you see these old photo albums, definitely get them. These pages are newer, so they're not falling apart. But anyway, that is a cool way to do your die cuts, or you could put your ephemera, anything in there, if you know, if you want to be able to flip through it. The other thing is, if you want to flip through it, and I didn't end up using these for what I thought I would. You know, a lot of people make ephemera holders, and I'm not against that, but this is the things. I think this is for stamp collectors or whatever. And I emptied mine out. I did have stuff in them, but I am actually going to use this for original ephemera that I collect, okay? Like, and I do have some that I need to put in here, but I haven't done it yet. But they have different sizes that you can use, you know, for different things. This is the smaller size. I think they have a medium too somewhere. I don't know. They're in here somewhere. But my point is, you can definitely use these. If I can find them, I'll put them in there. But basically, look for stuff. Oh, I think this one's in upside down. That's why it's doing that. I might have a few of these. I might have the whole thing upside down. There we go. But anyway, this is how they work. You just put stuff in here. I don't know if I have anything to put in there. Here we go. Here's one. You can just put it in here like that. Here, this is smaller. You could just put it in here, you know. And it stays put. And definitely, obviously it's reusable, so you can certainly use that for that. Okay, I mean, I personally think this is a great way to use it. I kind of decided for now that I was going to go ahead and put, I have certain ideas of things I'm going to put. I have one that I'm going to use for just the Tim Holtz people, and another one I'm using for original things that I collect. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So I can just flip through it, okay? Let's see. Oh my gosh, there's so much to go over. The other thing is you're going to wind up collecting, if you're new to this, words. I mean, I have words and words and words. I don't know, I should probably separate some of this. But I used to always cut them all out, and I don't do that anymore. These are Tim Holtz ones. These are things that I printed out myself, and I haven't cut them all out, but that's okay. They don't need to be all cut out. I can look through here and see things that I want, and maybe I take these, and sometimes I actually cut out pieces of this and then put something on top. I don't always just use them individually. Like this, I just made a card to use as a I use it as a backing, but I have this little plastic, I don't even know where I got it. This little thing, and you can buy these just about anywhere, but it just has all these little sections in it. And what I do with that is I just keep my whole sheets, and here's some Tim Holtz words in there too. And I just keep my whole sheet, and if I see something, and these are all different colors, pink and purple and black and whatever, and I'll just look and see if I find a word, and then I'll cut it out. That's kind of how I do it. Here's some beige. There's different words in there. Oh, here's some different labels. I probably need to put those in a different spot, otherwise I will not be able to find them. Here, I'll put these up front. But these are the things that I have not cut out. Okay, so I kind of have all those in here where I can flip through them, and that's really all this is, just stuff I have not cut out, and I just kind of keep it in there. These are just like on a little sticker sheets. This is on acetate, and these are just blank pieces of cardstock that I kind of keep in the back in case I want to stamp something, because a lot of these too, I have stamps that have different words on it, and if I just want to stamp something, usually, I mean, if I can't find a word through there, then I'm kind of in trouble. But for the most part, I have a whole book of words. Okay. What else was I going to show you? Oh, okay. So the other thing that I do, and let me get it real quick. I made these a long time ago on my channel. I guess I didn't make them. I decorated them. That would be a better way to explain it. So these are old photo albums. This one is stuffed. Okay. What I have in these are all original postcards that I've collected over time. This one, this was an old photo album that I got at the thrift store for $1, and I could have easily just left it the way it was. I mean, there was really no reason to decorate it, but I guess I felt like it, and so I went ahead and just covered it and decorated it just for me. Okay, I mean, nobody really sees this but me. But this one is completely pretty much full. I think there's a few spots left in it. But I just use this to put, there's a few. If there's a spots, because I took things out. But I just use this to put my postcards in, because a lot of these are vintage. It'll protect them, and also it makes it very easy for me to flip through here and see what I have. And I used to have these divided up, but now I really don't. I need to go through and get more organized. And this is just a plain old photo. Now I did put tabs on the top, but I haven't divided them. And part of it is because I ended up collecting so many that where I thought the tab would be, because I put them evenly, really doesn't make any sense, okay? So I'm just, basically I have all of my old floral ones in here because this has flowers on it. And then I have, this is my Christmas one that I did, and these are actually 3 of the exact same photo albums, but you know, you can find those at thrift stores all the time. And this one is just all my Christmas, a lot of my Christmas, because some of them don't fit in here. Some of the cards won't fit in here, but the ones that do fit in here, I definitely have them in here. And I go ahead and I just put them in here. I don't have that much Christmas. I actually gave a lot away, so I did have more. But anyway, so that is that. And then I have another one that I just did, and this is basically about travel and then romance. And these are some 1950s cards that I have, postcards in here. And then here I think I have just a hodgepodge, miscellaneous ones, travel ones, and then I have romantic ones in here. But these are, for me, oh, and here's just some original, this is kind of hodgepodge, like guest checks and things like that, that are originals. So I have, these are just all original things that I have that I may use to decorate or put in a journal, that type of ephemera. The other thing that I use, and I got to get it, as I said, I couldn't really put all of this on my desk because I didn't have room. Oops. This one, this is my handy dandy little things that I got from the Dollar Tree. And they have a little snap. And I have all of my little, and you could use page protectors for this. These are the ones that won't fit, my original stuff that won't fit in, you know, like a photo album. I have them in here, kind of in categories. I don't really have it labeled, but that's how I have it. Like, here's some of my Christmas cards that won't fit, you know, in there. They're too wide or too long or too big. I have original letters, and these are just in page protectors. I have recipe cards, just different things that I have. Any kind of original stuff that I have that, I mean, I put a lot of original stuff in my journals, but sometimes I photocopy, and so I basically just keep it in this binder, so that I have all of that in there. If it doesn't fit in my little journal cards. So I think that's it. I'm sure I have things stored other ways, but that is for the most part what I have. I just thought, oh, I did want to point this out too. If you don't have a ton of stuff, I kind of use these when I'm doing a project. These are, I have a couple of things in there I need to take out, but these are just meal containers. A lot of people use these for meal prepping or whatever, and they're not super expensive. They seal shut. So, I mean, you know, the lid's not going to come off. And they stack on top of each other. And you can fit a lot in these, and if you just want to get a group of these, or even use them for takeout that you already get, you know, and stick them on top of each other, these work great. They work absolutely great. I usually use these. I have some of these in my craft room, and I use these usually when I am doing a project, and let's say I cut out a bunch of stuff, that ephemera or something from a kit or something. I will usually use these to divide things up into the larger, medium, small, and that comes with it. I especially did it when I was on design teams, because you wanted to use like all their things, so I would keep it all separate. But I do this a lot of times when I am going to make something. I'll have it all divided up in here, and that what I want to use, and I will put this with I usually use the plastic 12 by 12 containers, and I shove all my papers, everything that I'm going to do in a journal. And a lot of times anything that I cut out, or even junk journal jewelry, anything that certain ribbon or certain whatever that I think I'm going to use on it, I will put in here, and it's great to hold in these little things. But as I said, they do stack, so you could stack them up and use those. I think that's it. I'm sure there are other things that I'm not thinking of. The one thing I will have to say that I use all the time is this label maker, and there's a handheld one too. I like this one better, but I label so many things. It is definitely paid for itself. But I was like not labeling a lot of my clear things, and I still don't always label a lot of my clear things, because I can see what it is, and if I reuse it, it might be something else the next time. But there are a lot of things that I need to label, like those little containers that I had, just because it's so much easier to figure out what they are, and it's super, super easy to use. The one thing I did find is the refillable label. You can get them in clear, you can get them in white, you can get them in colors. They're kind of expensive, and this is the Brother P-Touch. I think that's the one that everyone uses, but I used kind of an off-brand, and it works just fine in here. I got it off Amazon. I will see if I can find it, because I haven't bought them for a couple of years, so I'll see if I can find it out there. But anyway, I was just going to say that it was exponentially cheaper, okay, because what you'll find is the actual label maker is not that expensive, but the refills it's kind of like a printer. You can get a printer really cheap, but then when it comes to ink, yeah, that's where they get you. It's the same thing here, is that, yeah, the label maker itself you can pick up for really, really inexpensive, especially the handheld one. But when it comes time to refill these, I don't know. Let's see what the brand is on here. Let's see if I can find it. It says, I don't know, Label Life or something. So I don't know. I haven't, like I said, they work just fine. They pop in the same. I've had no issues with them. So let me see. Let's turn it on. So we can just print. Let me just show you this. So if you want to put something in there, and you just, let's say I do flowers. You print. See how easy that is and how pretty that is? And the really great thing about this is, look at this, guys. See the little stuff on the back to peel this off? It comes right off so that you do not have to work hard to get it off of there. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't, my reading glasses, so I can't really see what I'm doing. But it does come right off. It's not hard because of that. All right. So that's what's great about it. And as I said, the refillables, you can get them pretty inexpensive. So anyway, so that is something that I would definitely look into. The other thing is, if you don't want to invest in that, they do sell all kinds of labels at the dollar store. But I just found these really cute ones, and I'm actually going to use these for stuff in my kitchen and in our RV, because we have a lot of containers, and I thought this would work really, really well for that and be kind of cute. But these are just little black thing you can write with a chalk pen, and you can erase it off, or you could just do it with a white gel pen or something, and it'd be just fine. But these were at the dollar store, and I'm sure you can get stuff like this at Walmart or just about any store. This would go on top of a jar. So if this helps too, and they do have all kinds of labels, and I have bought labels there before, but for sure these are great. And you know, they're self-adhesive, they're stickers, so that would work too. All right. Okay, so that's all I have for today. I'm not sure when I'll get back to the process video stuff. I am going to be going out of town for a little bit too, so I will try and pop in from time to time with little videos here and there. I hope this is helpful for some of you. I just know for me, I do have to regroup at least once a year and revamp, and this is the process I'm going through, and it may help some of you out there. And maybe some of you haven't gotten to the point where you have hoarded as much as I have, where you have enough stuff where you have to really, you know, go through it and get into it and really organize it. Some of this may help you. All right, I will see you again next time. You guys take care. Bye-bye.